Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to give you an update on our 1970 National Pastime 3 season replay. We haven't played a lot of it lately, but we are currently at, as you can see here, game number 220 of the season. And today we're going to play a game between the Phillies and the Dodgers. But first we'll show you what the standings are so far in the season. So the Orioles are currently in first place in the AL East, 2 games ahead of the Yankees, 3 games ahead of the Senators. The Red Sox are currently in last place with a record of 7-11, 5 games behind the Orioles. In the American League West, the Twins and the Brewers are tied for first place with 11-6 and 12-7 records, respectively. The Athletics are a game out, and the Angels are 2 games out. The Royals sit in last place with a record of 5-13, 6.5 games out. In the National League East, the Cubs have a commanding 13-3 record with a 3.5 game lead over the Cardinals, 5 game over the Pirates, and 6 over the Phillies. The Mets sit in last place, surprisingly, at 3-15, a year after they are the defending World Series champs. Just 3-15, and they have a current 8-game losing streak. So the Cubs have a 5-game winning streak in first place, and the Phillies with a 4-game winning streak. In the National League West, finally, the Astros have a 13-8 record, and the Dodgers are a half game out, 11-7, and Braves with a 1 game out with an 11-8 record. The Padres sit in last place, 4.5 games out of first. So those are the standings. So the biggest losing streak, again, the Mets with 8-game losing streak. And the biggest winning streak currently is the Cubs with a 5-game winning streak. So those are your standings there. Let's give a quick update on some of the stats here, just to show you some of the league leaders. Let's see here. Let's go batting leaders 1. So these are your batting leaders here. Paul Blair leads with a .465 batting average for the Orioles for the American League. Home run leaders are Killebrew with 8, Harper with 7, and then a bunch of guys, including Yastrzemski, tied with 6. RBI leaders are Killebrew with 21, Paul Blair and Terry Harper with 18, and Al Kaline 17, and then those are your other guys, Yastrzemski in that mix too. Your run leaders are going to be Paul Blair and Harmon Killebrew tied at 17, Frank Robinson and Terry Harper with 16. Hit leaders, Paul Blair 33. Paul Blair also with a .548 on base percentage, the only batter above 500. And slugging percentages, Harmon Killebrew with a .787. Slugging percentage followed by Paul Blair with a .761. So those are your American League leaders there. Let's go to the National League. So Jim Hickman leads with a .426 batting average for the Cubs. Bernie Carbo, .404 batting average with the Reds. Let's see here. Home run leaders, Hank Aaron leads with 9. Cito Gaston, 8. And Dick Allen and Billy Williams with 7. RBI leaders are Hank Aaron with 30, 7 ahead of Billy Williams with 23, and Jim Hickman with 22. So you can see why the Cubs have a 13-3 record. Felix Milan leads in runs for the Braves with 21. Hank Aaron right behind him, his teammate, with 20, and Billy Williams with 20 runs scored. Hit leaders, Felix Milan 31, Davis with 29, and Tony Perez and Hank Aaron with 28 apiece. On base percentage, Bernie Carbo, .516, just ahead of Jim Hickman, who has .514, and Dick Dietz with 500 on base percentage. Let's see here. Slugging percentage, finally, Jim Hickman leads with a commanding .885, closely trailed by Ferreira with an .881 slugging percentage for the Padres. Hank Aaron 792, Bernie Cabo 769, and so forth. So those are your leaders there, your pitching leaders. So again, this is just about the end of the first month of the season. So Jim Palmer and Catfish Hunter and Dave McNally all with 4 wins apiece. 7 players are tied with 3. Strikeout leader Sam McDowell leads for the Indians, 39. Mike Cuellar and Mickey Lolich for the Tigers tied with 37. Innings leaders, Jim Palmer leads 43 2/3 innings, followed by Mike Cuellar with 42 2/3, Dave McNally, Catfish Hunter, and so forth. Losing leaders, lost leaders, are Tommy John for the White Sox with 3, Al Downing for the Athletics with 3, and a whole bunch of these guys tied with 3. Ironically, Mickey Lolich has 3 losses also, though he's among the strikeout leaders and the innings leaders. Save leaders, Tatum for the Angels has 6 saves. Jim Aker for the Yankees, and he's Jim Aker, with 4, and so forth. Whip, Marty Patton for the Brewers leads with a .66, followed by Dobson, Chuck Dobson, .81, Sonny Siebert for the Red Sox, .95, and so forth. For the National League, finally, Pat Dobson leads with a 152. Actually, we didn't do the ERA here. Catfish Hunter and Chuck Dobson both tied with a 1.51 earned run average. Marty Patton also below 2 with a 1.89. So Pat Dobson for the Padres leads with a 152 ERA. Mike McCormick right behind him with a 178. And Steve Carlton for the Cardinals, 188. And Jim McLaughlin for the Reds with a 1.93. Win leaders, Ken Holtzman has 5 wins for the Cubs, followed by Fergie Jenkins. So they have 9 of the 13 Cubs wins between the two of them. Fergie Jenkins for the Cubs, 34 strikeouts. Gary Nolan, 30 strikeouts. Tom Terrific with 26 strikeouts. Gaylord Perry leads innings, 43 for the Giants. Gary Nolan with the Reds, 40. Ken Holtzman, 39. And Fergie Jenkins right behind him, 38 and 2/3. Loss leaders, ironically, Gaylord Perry leads with 4 losses, tied with Tug McGraw and Tom Terrific, has not got much run support. So the Mets, you can see why they're in last place. They have McGraw with 4 losses, Seaver with 4 losses, and Kuzman with 3 losses. Save leaders, Dave Gusti and I think it's Tim Dukes with 4 saves apiece. And a whip, Jim McLaughlin leads with .85. Andrew for the Mets, .87, and so forth. All right, so those are your leaders there. So let's get on with the game. Here on a Tuesday afternoon. We normally have our Higher Ground board gaming group right now, but it's been canceled for obvious reasons to stop the spread of this virus, but instead we'll have some baseball since there is no baseball going on, no spring training. So we will feature a game today between the Phillies and the Dodgers. So let's get started here. We're going to roll our own dice, as we usually do. So it's going to be the Phillies against the Dodgers. The Phillies come in with an 8-10 record. The Dodgers with a 11-7 record. So for the Phillies, Denny Doyle will lead it off and play second, followed by Chuck Taylor, is it? Tony Taylor. The third baseman will bat second. Will be followed by Briggs in left, Johnson at first. Larry Heisel, the center fielder, hits fifth. Brown, the right fielder, sixth. Ryan behind the plate will bat seventh. Larry Bower, the shortstop, hits eighth. And Grant Jackson on the hill will bat ninth and be on the mound. For the Dodgers, left to right, it's going to be Moda in left, Davis in center, Costco in right. The infield left to right is Garbakewicz at third. Wills at short. Sizemore at second. And Parker at first. So that is the lineup there. Behind the plate is going to be Sudakis, and on the hill is going to be Claude Osteen. So Claude Osteen comes in with a 1-2 record, 20 innings pitched, 28 hits allowed, 20 strikeouts, only 2 walks, ERA of 2.6. So he's not got much run support, and hitters are batting 155 against him. Denny Doyle comes in, hitting just 167 with 2 homers and 2 runs batted in 57 plate appearances. So Osteen looks in for the sign from Sudakis. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be a 6-5. It's going to be a base hit for Doyle. And let's see if he's going to try to steal here. He does not get the jump or remain at first. So leadoff runner is on for the Phillies. It brings up Tony Taylor. He comes in hitting 283 with 4 runs batted in. And that's going to be a strikeout for Osteen. So Osteen with his first K of the game. 21 on the season now. That'll bring up John Briggs. The lefty comes in hitting 292 with 3 homers, 12 runs batted in. And that's going to be a 1-1. And that could be trouble for the Dodgers. And that will be a RBI triple for Briggs. And that will put the Phillies on the board first. So the Phillies take the early lead. That'll be Darren Johnson up now. First base, switch hitting first baseman. Comes in hitting just 174, but does have 5 homers and 9 runs batted in. Oh, and this could be trouble also. It's a 6-6. And that is going to be a no-doubter. A 2-run homer for Johnson will make it a 3-0 lead for the Phillies. So the Phillies strike for 3 so far. Still only 1 out. Larry Heisel up there now. Comes in hitting 250 with a homer and 5 runs batted in and 75 plate appearances. And that is going to be a ground out to third for out number 2. So to bring up Byron Brown. He comes in with a 317 average, 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. And that will be a ground out this time to short to end the inning. But the Phillies strike for 3, capped by a 2-run home run by Johnson. And it's 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. So the defense for the Phillies behind Jackson is going to be Briggs in left, Heisel in center, and Brown in right. The infield left to right is going to be Taylor at third, Boa at short, Doyle at second, and Johnson at first. Behind the plate is Ryan. So Jackson on the hill is a C rating, a lefty, with a Y and DP plus ratings. So Murray Wills will lead it off for the Dodgers, followed by Manny Mota. Davis in center will bat third, followed by Costco in right. Parker, the first baseman, hits 5th. Behind the plate is Sudakis, batting 6th. Ted Sizemore, the second baseman, will hit 7th. Followed by Garbakiewicz at third, batting 8th, and Osteen on the hill will bat 9th. So Jackson comes in with an 0-2 record, 6.08 earned run average. Has pitched 13 innings, allowing 21 hits, 14 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Hitters are hitting a whopping 339 against him. So let's see what he can do here against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So Maury Wills comes in, hitting 253 with 9 runs batted in. The leadoff hitter steps in the box. Here's the windup in the pitch by Jackson. And that is also going to be a base hit. So Wills gets on with a single. Let's see if he can get a jump and steal second. And not able to get one. Almost went there, but he's kept on at first. So to bring up Mota. Manny Mota comes in hitting 360 with 2 runs batted in. Wills gets his lead up first. Here's the pitch by Jackson. And that's going to be ball 4. That will be a walk. So that'll put the first 2 runners on for the Dodgers. That brings up Willie Davis. Davis also off to a good start, hitting 345 with 10 runs batted in. Here's the pitch as runners get their leads. And that's going to be a fly ball to left. And Briggs has it lined up and makes the catch as the runners head back. So 1 down now for Andy Costco. Hitting just 189 with 10 runs batted in. 1-1, and this could be put the Dodgers on the board here. That will be a 2-run double. As Costco reaches second. So it'll be 3-2 game now. So the Dodgers strike back quickly. Still only 1 down. Going to bring up Wes Parker, hitting 239 with 9 runs batted in. Not much power on the Dodgers here. They do know how to manufacture runs. And that will be a ground out to short. The runner is looked back. So 2 down now. So that brings up Bill Sidakis, the catcher. 250 hitter with a homer and 4 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. And that'll be a fly out to left to end the inning. So the Dodgers strike for 2, and it's 3-2 after 1 full. Osteen back on the hill. Osteen is a lefty with just a C and Z rating. Grade 6 with a Q1. All right, so Mike Ryan, the catcher for the Phillies, come to the plate. He's hitting just 250 in 4 plate appearances, 1 for 4. And that will be a ground out to short for out number 1. That'll bring up Larry Bowa, hitting just 153, 2 runs batted in 73 plate appearances. Here's the pitch by Osteen. And that will also be a ground out to short. And then we'll bring up the pitcher, Jackson. Jackson has 1 hit in 4 plate appearances. Here's the pitch by Osteen. And he strikes him out looking for out number 3. So the Phillies go in order. And it remains 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the second. It's going to be Sizemore, Gruber, Kawitz, and Osteen, the bottom third of the order for the Dodgers against Jackson. Sizemore, 333 hitter with a homer and 11 runs batted, 56 plate appearances. And he'll reach with a single. So good start to the Dodgers' second. Tying run is on. So Sizemore is being held on by Johnson. Jackson looks in for the sign, looks at the runner. Here's a delivery to Gruber Kawitz, who's hitting 298 with 8 runs batted in. And that's going to be a fielder's choice. The runner is going to be out at second. Sizemore is retired. But he breaks it up. And Gruber Kawitz is going to try to steal, and he will be gunned down. So he's gunned down by Ryan. As shortstop Bower applies the tag. So the bases are empty now for Claude Osteen. He's hitting an even 311 plate appearances, which tells me he's 3 for 10. So 3-3, this could be a base hit. And it will be. So Osteen gets himself a single, so a 2-out single. And we'll bring up the top of the order, Maury Wills. He singled and scored his first time up. And that will be a strike. And that's going to be a ground out to third. We'll go over to first, 5-3 on the putout to end the inning. So after 2 full, it remains 3-2 Phillies. So top of the order for Philadelphia, Doyle, Taylor, and Briggs. Doyle singled and scored his first time up. And it looks like he's going to give himself another hit here. So Doyle is a 2 for 2. And he'll remain at first. Cannot get a jump off of Osteen. So that brings up Tony Taylor. Taylor struck out his first time up. Rolling doubles again. This could be big. And that's going to be a double. They'll hold Doyle at third with nobody out. So runners at second and third, nobody out for Manny Mota. For John Briggs. Briggs had RBI triple his first time up and came around the score on Johnson's 2-run bomb. So Johnson with a chance to get himself another RBI here, another couple. 2-3. And he'll fly out to right. And Costco will make the catch. Doyle bluffs but does not go. Not deep enough. So that brings up Darren Johnson now. Johnson hit a 2-run homer his first time up. Chance for more RBIs, and he's got a good chance here. He'll get 2 more RBIs here. An RBI single. So Johnson now with 4 RBIs, and the Phillies increase their lead now 5-2. So put the brakes on Johnson here. All right, that'll bring up Larry Heisel. He grounded to third his first time up. Johnson gets his lead, not going anywhere. 4-5. And that will be a ball on Heisel. And ball 2 on Heisel. And this time he'll fly out to left, and Johnson will hold. So 2 down now for Byron Brown. Grounded to short his first time up. And he will hit into a fielder's choice, 4-6 to end the inning. But the Phillies tack on 2 more as Johnson gets himself 2 more RBIs on a 2-run single. And it's now 5-2 Philadelphia. So Jackson rating now lowered to a D. So he'll face Mota, Davis, and Costco. Mota walked and scored his first time up. And he'll ground out to short for out number 1. Next up, Davis. He flew out to left his first time up. And this time he strikes out swinging. So first strikeout for Jackson. That'll bring up Andy Costco. He's knocked in both of the Dodger runs so far with a 2-run double back in the first. Here's the pitch to Costco. And this time he'll ground out to short to end the inning. So the Dodgers go in order in the third. And we head to the fourth with the Phillies leading by 3. Osteen now has a D rating. It was lowered in the last inning, middle of the inning. So Mike Ryan will lead it off. He grounded out to short his first time up. Pitched by Osteen. And that's going to be a ball. Next pitch. And he'll ground out to short again for out number 1. And I'll bring up the shortstop, Larry Boa. He grounded out to short too. And he will ground out to third this time. So that'll bring up the pitcher, Jackson. Struck out his first time up. And this time we'll try to bunt to get himself on, but a swinging bunt. That'll be fielded by the catcher. Sadakis. He'll throw over to the first baseman to end the inning, Parker. So to bring up Parker, he'll lead it off for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the fourth. Grounded to short his first time up. And this time he'll give himself a hit. And he'll pull into second with a double. So leadoff double for Parker. That brings up Sadakis, who flew out to left his first time up. Jackson looks in for the sign, looks at the runner. Here's the delivery. And he pops it up to short. And Boa calls everybody off and makes the catch as Parker holds. So 1 down now. Brings up Sizemore, who singled his first at bat. And he'll fly out to center. Parker will tag and move up to third now, but with 2 down. So Garber what's up there now? Into a fielder's choice and was caught stealing. Here's the pitch. And he will ground out to short once again. So the shortstop busy in this game. As we head to the 5th inning, Denny Doyle is a perfect 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a pair of runs scored. Average up to 196 now. Almost above the Mendoza line. So a base hit could put that up above the Mendoza line here. So Osteen looks in for the sign. Here's the delivery to Doyle. And oh, Doyle's going to get himself another hit. So perfect 3 for 3. See if he attempts the steal here. Does not get the jump. So Doyle's on for his 3rd time with 3 singles. Let's see if they can bring him around the score to remain perfect and runs scored too. So that brings up Tony Taylor. Taylor's had a, I think it was an RBI double his last time up. Or at least it was a, let's see what that is. I think that means a run scored. Or is that an RBI? I always get those mixed up. So let's see, Taylor. That's a run scored. Okay, so the check mark is a run scored. Been a little while since we played National Pastime 3, so the check mark will be a run scored, and the asterisk will be a RBI. So he had a 1 for 2 with a run scored. So Doyle gets his lead off first. Parker holding him on. Here's the windup in the pitch by Osteen. And that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Osteen needed that. So that brings up Briggs. Briggs had an RBI triple and came around the score on Johnson's 2-run homer. Back in the 1st. And this time he'll ground out the short to end the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 5th, and I think we maybe do hold on here. We'll be right back. All right, Jim Brewer is loosening up in the pen. Do we want to replace Osteen? It's only the 5th inning. We're gonna keep him in another inning, as Osteen did pitch the whole game in the 1st game, so we'll let him at least get one more at bat. Right, so he's delivered by Jackson. And it looks like Osteen's going to reward him, possibly with a base hit here. He will. So Osteen gets himself a double. Rewards his manager for keeping him in. So to bring in Maury Wills. Osteen is a fast runner. Has good speed, especially for a pitcher. So 1 for 2 is Wills with a run scored. And this time he'll fly out to left as Osteen holds. 1 down now for Manny Mota. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And he strikes out looking for out number 2. So that brings in Willie Davis 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the day. And it looks like he'll get it here. And that is going to be a RBI double. So Dodgers get a little closer now. 5-3 game. There is action in the Phillies bullpen. So Costco up there now. He had a 2-run double his first time up. 1 for 2. And he will ground out to second to end the inning. But the Dodgers tack on a run. I mean, not tack on, but get a run and get a little closer now. Chipping away now, 5-3. So it's going to be Johnson, Heisel, and Brown against Osteen. Johnson, perfect 2 for 2. Probably shouldn't have let him face Osteen. He's going to get himself a single. So there's action in the pen for the Dodgers. It looks like Jim Brewer is warming up. Oops. Yeah, he is warming up in the pen. Ooh, he's pitched a whole bunch of days in a row, but he hasn't pitched a lot, but so they'd rather not have Brewer come in, but he is warming up. Oh, this could be bad. 6-6 for Heisel. 6-4. Heisel with a triple. And that is going to be it for Osteen. His Brewer is going to come in. So that's it for Osteen, responsible for Heisel at third. Still nobody out. Brewer's 3-0 with a 2 even ERA. 18 innings pitched, 22 hits allowed, 9 walks, 14 strikeouts. Batters are hitting .297 against him. They are going to bring the infield in, try to prevent that run from scoring. Byron Brown is 0 for 2. 4-4, wow. And that will be a sacrifice fly. And that will bring home Heisel from third. So base is empty now. 7-3 game now. That'll bring up Ryan. Ryan's grounded out to short twice. And he will fly out to right for out number 2. Brewer is a B rating. He's a lefty. So 5-5. Oops. Could be Boa's first hit. It will be. Nope. Actually, it'll be a flyout. That B rating helped there. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. Jackson back out there again. He'll face switch hitting Parker and then Sudakis and Sizemore. Parker is 1 for 2 of the double. That's going to be a base hit. He will hold, down by 4. So I bring up Sudakis. He's flown out to left and popped out to short. And he'll pop out to third this time for out number 1. That brings up Sizemore. Sizemore 1 for 2 with a single. He'll fly out to right as Parker holds. So Jackson pitching a good game so far. 5-3 is in line for the win. And it's going to be a base hit for Grabakowicz. So first and second now. His action in the Philadelphia pen. This could be his last batter. Whether he gives up the hit or not. Trying to get through this inning so they can pinch hit for him in the top of the 7th. Faces Jim Brewer. And Brewer's got to come out. Alright, we'll be right back with a pinch hitter. Alright, so we're going to pinch hit for Brewer. We have Crawford. He's a pinch runner. Let's see here. Lefevre and Buckner. He's actually been pretty hot lately. Let's bring him in. So Willie Crawford is going to come on to pinch hit for Brewer. So Brewer's day is done. All right, so Willie Crawford comes in, hitting .291 with a homer and 6 runs batted in 60 plate appearances. Runners on first and second. I'm surprised they brought it. Actually, you know what? They wouldn't have brought. We'll leave him in now, even though he's a lefty. I didn't see that. That's okay. 4-1. And he will ground out. So questionable pitch hitting there. But he was a hot hitter, so. Alright, so now we have to bring in a new pitcher there. We'll be right back. Alright, so it looks like Fred Norman. Norman will come in and pinch hit. Pitch. So Norman comes in with a 2.84 ERA and 6 innings pitched, allowed 7 hits, walking 2, striking out 7. Opponents are hitting 280 against him. And Jackson will be pinch hit for. So it'll be Hutto coming in. Lersch and Palmer are warming up in the Philadelphia pen. So Hutto comes in. His 3 plate appearances does not have a hit yet. Let's take a look at his card here. Well, actually, his card is right over here. Didn't have to do that. He was a 222 on base percentage in 57 games, 101 plate appearances. So Hutto on to pinch hit. Norman out there on the hill. Here's the pitch to Hutto. And that will be a strikeout. So Hutto goes down on strikes. That'll bring up to Denny Doyle as a perfect 3 for 3. See if he can rain 4 for 4. Lefty on lefty here. And he strikes out swinging. First time Doyle is retired for today. So 2 up and 2 down in the Phillies 7th. Brings up Tony Taylor, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Looks like he's going to be 2 for 4 here. So he'll get a base hit. And he'll try to steal. Why not? See if he can get a jump here. Does not. So Taylor on first with a 2-out single. And it'll bring up John Briggs. He's 1 for 3 with a triple. And fielder's choice will end the inning. So let's bring in the new pitcher. I think it was Lersch was one of the guys. Lersch and Palmer. So let's see here. Both are righties. Let's see who's... He hasn't pitched it since the 22nd. And neither has he. Let's see here. Trying to keep the game close behind. Ooh, ERA 1350. I think we'll bring in Lersch first. He was brought in first anyway. In the game that he pitched. Okay, so Lersch, Barry Lersch there. Grade 10, B rating. YL and DP minus modifiers. So Lersch comes in with a 3.12 earned run average, 9 innings pitched. He's allowed 8 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. He'll face Wills, top of the order, Wills, Moda, and Davis. Wills 1 for 3 with a run scored. And he'll draw a walk. All right, man, I'll bring up Manny Moda, 1 for 3, 0 for 2. Sorry, 0 for 2 with a run scored. Also walked. Excuse me. And he'll walk, so back-to-back walks issued by Lersch. So tying run will be on deck now. Willie Davis up there now. Willie Davis 1 for 3 with a RBI double. And that's going to be a fly out to right. And we will play it safe down by 4. Actually, Moda will play it safe. So Wills does tag and move to third. So runners at the corners with 1 down. Phillies playing back in double play to death, willing to concede the run. Costco up there now. 1 for 3 with a 2-run double. 3-3. Possible double increase to a home run here. This could bring them within 1. Gonna need an 11 and 26, and it's a 54, so it'll just be a double, but that should score 2. And it will, so that'll make it a 7-5 game. Lersch caused up a 2-run double to Costco. Second 2-run double of the game. Maybe at the tying run, Wes Parker, he's 2 for 3. I think we're going to take out Lersch here. We'll bring in Palmer. So Palmer comes in with an ERA of 13.5. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts, 7 walks though. So tying run is up to the plate now. Wes Parker 2 for 3. Runners get their lead. Palmer looks in for the sign. Just to wind up in the pitch. Palmer is a B rating. He's for his first batter. Oh no, it's at 44. That's going to be another run coming in. So 3 runs in here for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th. Parker being held on at first, representing the tying run. Sudakis up there. Switch hitter is 0 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch. And there's going to be a fly ball to center. 2 down now. Palmer trying to get out of this with a 1-run lead. Sizemore up to the plate now, 1 for 3. And he'll get out of it as he hits into a fielder's choice, 6-4. But the Dodgers plate 3, and it's now a 1-run game as we head to the top of the 8th. Norman back out there. Trying to keep this a 1-run game. Give the Dodgers another chance to get up to bat. So it's going to be Johnson, Heisel, and Brown. Johnson, perfect 3 for 3 with 4 runs batted in, having a player of the game so far, definitely. 6-1. And they finally get him the first time. Oh, no, they don't, as he walks. So he remains on base for the 4th time today. So that'll bring up Grabakiewicz. Do we want him to bunt? Can he bunt? Don't know if he's a good bunter or not. Suppose we could check. We'll be right. He did have 3 sacrifice bunts, but not too many the rest of his career. So we're not going to only have like a single one for each of his other years. So we are going to have him hit away here. Oops. And he'll fly out to center for out number 1. Oh, that wasn't him. That was, I should have looked at Heisel. Heisel definitely wouldn't have been anyway. I looked at the wrong team. Anyway, yeah, we wouldn't have had Heisel bunt anyway. So they'll bring up Brown. 1 down. Sacrifice fly RBI his last time up. And he'll draw the walk, so it'll put runners on 1st and 2nd. Norman trying to keep this a 1-run game. Going to bring up Ryan. 0 for 3 on the day. And pass ball. That'll move 2 runners into scoring position. So, oh boy. I think they're going to intentionally walk. Can they, though? Doesn't look like they're going to let me intentionally walk him. Yes, they will. Here it is right here. So we will walk Ryan. That'll bring up Boa. So we're going to bring the infield in with Boa coming up. Boa's 0 for 3 on the day. Boa just a 147 hitter, so hoping to hit into 2 here. So the infield is brought in. Boa is, I think, a good bunter. Boa is going to go for the squeeze here. So let's see what happens here. The base is loaded. They're up by a run, so Boa, a very good bunter, knows how to handle the bat. As the corners charge, here we go. Boa squares around. Oh. And that's going to be a nice squeeze bunt. Just past the charging third baseman, can't handle it, and that will score the run. Actually, however, no, he does pick it up, sorry. But his only play is to first. So Boa gets a sacrifice bunt there, nice squeeze bunt. And that will score the run as Boa is thrown out at first. So now an 8-6 game. So that's going to bring up Palmer, and he will be pinch hit for. And hold on. Okay. So it looks like Rick Joseph is going to come on the pinch hit. Selma and Horner are warming up in the pen for Philadelphia. Alright, so trying to keep this a 2-run game now as Joseph comes in. Joseph, 9 plate appearances, hitting .222 with an RBI. Norman looks in for the sign. Here's the delivery from Joseph. And he's going to walk him, so we'll load the bases. That brings up Danny Doyle is 3 for 4. And he will strike out looking. Thought it was ball 4, but it was not. So it's 8-6 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Let's see. So who are we going to bring in now? We have a bunch of righty and a couple of switch hitters and a righty. So I have Selma and Horner. Let's see here. Horner. He throws the left, so he's probably not going to come in. Not for the first batter anyway. That's what Selma is here. He pitched 3 innings yesterday, so I'm going to bring in Horner first. Alright, so we'll bring in Horner first. He's a B rating. Comes in with a 1-0 record, 1.54 earned run average, 12 innings pitched, 9 hits allowed, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and hitters just hitting .205 against him. So Gravikiewicz up there now. He's 1 for 3 on the day. And not a good start as he walks the first batter he faces. So Fred Norman will be pinch hit for here. And Bill Buckner will come in as a pinch hitter. So Buckner comes in hitting .161 with 2 runs batted in, 31 plate appearances. And he flies out to right for out number 2. I'm guard number 1. Gravikiewicz holds at first. Top of the order, Will's up there now. 1 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. And then it's going to be a fielder's choice. Runners out at second. Playing it safe. So 2 down now for Manny Mota. He's walked a couple of times, 0 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. It's going to be he gets hit by a pitch. Grazes his jersey and now runners on first and second. So tying runs are on. So Davis up there now. Willie Davis is 1 for 4 with an RBI. And he'll fly out to right to end the inning. So we head to the top of the 9th. The Phillies up by 2. Trying to hold on here. And let's see here. Who do we want to bring in? Hold on here. Joe Mueller is going to be called on to come in. He's a long reliever spot starter. Hasn't pitched since the 13th, so we'll bring him in. Alright, so Joe Mueller, C rating, grade 7 pitcher. He'll face Taylor, Briggs, and Johnson, trying to keep this a 2-run game. Taylor is 2 for 4 with a run scored. And he'll ground up to short for out number 1. Briggs up there now, 1 for 4. And he also grounds out to short, so 2 up and 2 down in the Phillies' 9th. And it brings up the hot-hitting Darren Johnson. He's a perfect 4 for 4. I'm sorry, 3 for 3. 4 runs batted in and 3 runs scored, so definitely in line for player of the game. See what he does here, 5-1. And he pops out to third, so he's retired for the first time today. And that will do it for the Phillies in the 9th. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Dodgers need 2. And are we going to leave Horner in there? Let's check and see if he has any saves. He has 2 saves. Who's the other guy that we had? Horner. Selma. Does Selma have any saves? Selma has 3 saves. I think Selma might have been the pitcher who had the most saves. I think Selma's... I'm going to bring in Selma here to try to close it out. Selma will come in to try to close it. Yeah, he looks like the closer. B rating, XX. Good at strikeouts. DP minus. Grade 12 pitcher. So he'll face the hot hitting Costco, 2 for 4, with 4 RBIs and a run scored. So he's got his hands full here with Costco, Parker, and Tsutakis. So Selma looks in for the sign from Ryan. In line for trying to get the save here. So 4-2. And it's going to be a strikeout, so he gets him swinging. So big out there. So that brings up Wes Parker, this switch hitting first baseman. He's 3 for 4 on the day. He's having a good day today with a runs RBI. So that's a ground out to short. So Dodgers down to their last out here. Fans on their feet. The rally caps on. Tsutakis is switch hitting catcher up there now. He is an 0 for 4 on the day. Needs to get on to continue this game. And he strikes him out. Selma gets him 1-2-3 of the 9th, and the Phillies hold on to win 8-6. So let's take a look at the box score here. So save as. So we'll save our game first. All right, so we're getting 1970, 0429, Phillies 8. Dodgers 6. Alright, so Selma does get the save. We're not doing holds or anything in 1970. Alright, so let's go through the pitching stats for the Phillies. Grant Jackson gets the win. His first win of the season, now 1-2. 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Barry Lersch goes a third of an inning, allowing 1 hit, 3 runs, all of them earned. Which was definitely not effective. 2 walks. Lowell Palmer pitches 2/3 of innings, allowing 1 hit. Joe Horner pitches an inning, allowing a walk and a hit batsman. Dick Selma gets his 4th save of the season. Pitches a scoreless 9th with 2 strikeouts, getting the Dodgers in order in the 9th. For the Dodgers, Claude Osteen is the loser, 1-3 now, 5 innings pitched, 9 hits allowed, 7 runs, all of them earned, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run. Jim Brewer pitches a scoreless inning. Fred Norman, 2 innings pitched, allows 1 hit, 1 run it was earned, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. Joe Moeller pitches a scoreless inning. So, for the Phillies, Denny Doyle had a good day, 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Tony Taylor, 2 for 5 with a run scored, including a double. John Briggs is 1 for 5 with a run scored and a triple. Darren Johnson, definite player of the game. MVP of the game. 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored, including a 2-run homer, 4 runs batted in, also a walk. Larry Heisel was 1 for 4 with a run scored and a triple. Byron Brown was 0 for 2 with a RBI and a walk. Mike Ryan 0 for 3 with a walk. Larry Bower 0 for 3. Grant Jackson 0 for 2 with Jim Hutto, pinch hitter 0 for 1. Barry Lersch, Palmer, and Horner did not get at bats as pitchers, and Rick Joseph had 1 plate appearance and he walked. For the Dodgers, Maury Wills was 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Manny Mota was 0 for 2 with a pair of walks and 2 runs scored. Willie Davis 1 for 5 with a double and an RBI. Andy Costco was the player of the game for the Dodgers. 2 for 5 with a run scored, a pair of doubles, and 4 runs batted in. Wes Parker 3 for 5 with a double and an RBI. Sadakis was 0 for 5. Sizemore 1 for 4. Garbakewicz was 1 for 3 with a walk. And Claude Osteen had a good day at the plate, 2 for 2 with a run scored in a double. Brewer, Norman, and Mueller do not get at bats. Crawford 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter, and Buckner 0 for 1 also. So that is it, as the Phillies defeat the Dodgers by a score of 8-6 on a game from April 29th, 1970. So just a little update on our 1970 replay, almost at the end of month 1 finally. So the Phillies now 9-10, 5.5 games out, and the Dodgers fall to 11-8, now tied with the Braves for 1 game behind the Astros. So take care and God bless, and thank you for joining me. Stay safe. It's been Eric for Higher Ground Gaming. We're trying to get more games on now that we don't have any real baseball going on for a while. We're going to try to get more games on there. Between Inside Pitch, this, maybe some Out of the Park baseball, maybe some Dombrov baseball, Action PC, and maybe some hockey in our Bobby Orr career replay or Larry Bird career replay. So stay tuned for more games, as well as our board game unboxings. So take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.